Live from the Rendezvous Talk Music USA studios, here's your host, Robert Lee Valderrama.
I'd like to welcome a great friend and amazing drummer, Mr. Pete Woodman. Pete has played with a lot of famous artists like the Wagner and the Bossman. He played with MeatLoaf. He even played with Question Mark and Mysterians. He played about a year with us back in the 60s. Thank you, Pete, for being on Talk Music USA. Our viewers are really excited to hear what's been going on.
Wow, thank you for having me, folks, because today is the best day ever, and being with Robert is my pleasure. Thank you.
I wanted to say thank you, Pete, for when you covered for us after our drummer got in a car accident back in the 60s, and you played with us for a year. That was a great time we had playing with you, and then our drummer came back, and then so you were talking about moving out to California, so maybe you can take it from here.
Yeah, how that happened after I played with the Mysterians, we had so much money, we said, well, let's go to California. So Sue and I packed up our 66 Chevy and drove to California. And we went from California, we didn't know anybody. While we were there a while, went around and auditioned with different bands. Boyce and Hart, who I think you guys turned me on to them. They wrote all the Monkey songs. And then I did a couple of auditions, and a band from Detroit, Southbound Freeway, came out, and we did, they were after a contract, and they had Psychedelic Used Car Lot.
Wow.
So when they came out, they come out because they wanted me in the band. I was in LA. So I joined the band, and we made the rounds, and RCA, Capitol Records. When you're in Hollywood, they're all right there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just we get an appointment, and back then they were looking for bands. So Slay, he's a producer of Sonny and Cher, and he did Strawberry Alarm Clock. So when he heard our band, Southbound Freeway, he said, all right, he wanted to sign them. And they do sound a lot like the other band. I mean, we sounded like that 60s sound.
Okay.
But when they got to sign the contract, they backed out, and they quit. So they didn't make it. But they were right at the door. So get at the door and you don't open it.
Yeah.
So after that, I was taking drum lessons and jamming with a lot of people. And Captain Beefheart, I used to go down there and sit in with them a little bit. One night I was sitting there, and Michael Neilsmith from the Monkees came in, and he waved to him, and he knew everybody there. And I just waved at him. He didn't know who I was. I'm from Freeland, Michigan, on the shores of the Tittabawassee River. So when I did that, and I was taking drum lessons. So I walked out of the store one day after my lesson. It was probably 80 degrees, hot, sunny. It was a great day, and I'm always in pretty good mood anyway. So walking down the street, and I look down the street, here's this kid with long brown hair, skinny kid, with long brown hair, and this chubby kid standing next to him with stringy hair. He had a yellow button-down shirt and blue jeans, and I don't think he had any shoes on.
He did.
He did?
Yeah, he did. He used to go barefooted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I had my drumsticks in my hand, and they said, hey, we need a drummer. And we got talking, so that's how I met MeatLoaf. We went in the studio, and I helped them arrange their little tunes. And I offered them one. I said, what happened to those songs? I don't even know what happened to them. Wow. But that's how we met Melvin A-Day, otherwise known as MeatLoaf. So I told them about Sue, who was playing keyboards. So her and Ricky Basso was 15, I think, and he knew a guitar player. And ML and I, and we called our band MeatLoaf Soul. So we played we played a lot of clubs, and a lot of people came to hear us and things. And I remember we were playing. It was hard to find a place to rehearse in California, believe me. So we got to rehearse at this one house, and it was the house of the Hells Angels. So we never had to worry about our instruments being taken.
Wow, really?
Van Morrison had Brown Eyed Girl. So they were playing there, and we were playing there. It was just before that song hit, or maybe it hit. Anyway, so we were, and the guy wasn't paying us hardly. He owed us a lot of money, but we just had to cut it off and say, hey. So I was talking to Punch Andrews back in Detroit, and Punch is Bob Seger's manager. And I said, Punch, Pete Woodman, California, got a band, want to come back. He said, come on back, I'll book you. So MeatLoaf, Ricky Bozzo, Michael Jean, Susie, and we drove back in this 1965, 65 two-door yellow Chevrolet with a trailer. So we went back, and I moved everybody into my house in Freeland, where I rehearsed with Question Mark and Mysterians when they first came out. And so from there, and then we played all over, man, and the band went over really good. And I have 4 songs of us that we cut in Jackson that I'm going to release. I'm going to.
That's really great to hear.
You know, I just don't have enough money to put it together. So if you want to donate to throwing a MeatLoaf package together and songs that no one's ever heard. And he sounds great.
That would be great.
And the drums sound great. So it's really exciting to hear that.
That's really great.
But so that's where I'm at now with MeatLoaf, and he's very nice to me. I just seen him a couple months ago, and he said he was feeling not too good, and not singing the best that he ever sang. But I just tell stories about Cher, about Linda Ronstadt, about our band, you know, the Floating Circus, and just, you know, MeatLoaf, you had a great life. If people would like to rather hear that, they already heard you sing.
I remember going to Daniel's Den, and I saw you driving in the parking lot. I go, wow, there goes the drummer for the Bossman. I'm going to go see you guys tonight. And I remember watching you guys. You guys were amazing. Now, who was the bass player in the band?
Lanny Renicky.
Lanny Renicky?
Yeah, Lanny's doing good. He's got sugar, so he's not real healthy, but he's still with us. But the piano player, Warren Keith, he passed away about, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, quite a while back. And he was, when the Bossman split up, he went with Hank Williams Jr.
Wow.
Not too bad, eh?
Yeah, it's
Hank
really
Williams.
good.
And then we all know Dick Wagner did really good.
Yeah.
And the Bossman was a great stepping stone for him to become a writer, because he went on to write for Lou Reed, Alice Cooper, and, you know, everybody knows the Dick Wagner story, but him and I are real tight. His birthday was on December 14th, and mine on December 15th.
Gosh.
So we'd always call each other, hey, happy birthday!
Well, I know I had a great time playing at O'Mara's with you, you know, and watching your band and watching Sarah. That's another question I wanted to ask you about your daughter. I was really impressed with her singing and her stage performance. It was...
Yeah, and so she went to singing lessons, $100 an hour.
Ooh, yeah.
But boy, it paid off. She sings like a bird now.
She sure does. I definitely look forward to seeing Sarah sing again and perform. And thank you, Pete, for being on Talk Music USA. I had a great time listening to your stories of your career, going out to California and performing with MeatLoaf and Dick Wagner. You have done such great things in the music world. Thank you so much for being on. Great memories.
Yeah, and I really appreciate it. And Pete.Woodman, yahoo.com is my email. And you can find me at Facebook, Pete Woodman. if you want to see me on the internet, just go Pete Woodman Drummer. There's another Pete Woodman who makes guitars. And so I'm working on my book real hard, and the name of the book is Every Day is the Best Day Ever. So thank you so much. And thank you, Bob. Thank you for having me on.
You're welcome.
Adios.
In 2016, I was diagnosed with prostate cancer, and thanks to Pete Woodman, my friend and my hero, I caught it early, and I'm cured now. I'm 5 years in remission. Here's a small video of me and Pete talking about prostate cancer awareness. Thank you, Pete, for being my hero.
1, 2, 3.
Hi, Eric and Lisa. Thank you for having me on your show, Nothing But the Music. And I hope you enjoyed this song called Coming Home Baby, a little smooth jazz song there for you. I also got a message I want to say. I have prostate cancer, and I was recently diagnosed with that. And out of 12 samples, only one was positive, which means I caught it early. And so now I still got to do radiation, but I caught it early and I'm going to be cured. And the person that was playing the brushes was Mr. Pete Woodman. Pete, I'd like to introduce Pete Woodman.
Thank you, thank you. I'm so glad to be here today because it's the best day ever. We played together many, many years, and we're still playing together.
And Pete also had prostate cancer and he's cured. And Pete was my hero. He's the one that told me to get a PSA. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to pay it forward. That's my mission. Tell me a little bit about your situation, Pete.
Well, let me tell you, the first thing is, I'm a drummer. I played with Question Mark, MeatLoaf, and Jerry Lee Lewis. And Bobby talked about the PSA test. That's what saved me. I made an appointment, and I did a check, and they go in the biopsy. And the guy comes back to me, the doctor, and I go to his office, and I go in there, I'm sitting down, and he pulls out this little chart, and he says, "You got cancer." Now, a lot of people would freak out. I did not freak out. I just said, okay, let's get it done. What do you do? What is it? Whatever. I am so lucky that I go to the doctor a lot because of all my operations and stuff. So Bobby, when he was telling me about his problem, I said, hey, go get your PSA. I just want everybody to know that. How lucky am I to know Bobby Balderrama?
How lucky I am to know Pete is my hero. Because he's the one that told me to get tested.
Let's get tested.